The second way of doing it, finding first delimiter, we want to find the number. This one is interesting. Why? I will explain it right now. Finding first delimiters, you want to find the number, these numbers, but before finding the number, what pops up to your mind? The first one, you could just see that before and after the number we have the delimiters here, the dash and the comma. For all rows it has delimiters, you know, these ones, and you could use these delimiters in order to find the number as it's in the previous text function. The same exactly way we could use the number function. There is no difference between them. I just give you the simplest way of doing it. That's why we have a lot of ways of doing it, but this one is the simplest and more productive way of doing it. Let's find the first character, but the only difference here in order to extract it is that you should have change something in order to change the start number in order to make it work, because this will not work for all. You should have to change the start number here. This is the main difference. Let's practice it. First, what should we write? Find fraction here. Open the bracket. Find what? What do we want to find? Open the bracket. We want to find space, dash, and space. Space, dash, and space. Open the bracket. Put in a comma within the text. From where? From this one. We want to find from here. Should we close the bracket or put in start number here? We might put the start number here because we have lots of dashes here, but for now we will just leave it and see how does it work. 152, 101 on 12, and drag it down, 166. Let's find the second delimiter, the second one. Equal sign, find, open the bracket, find the text. What do we want to find? If we want to extract this number, we want to just find the comma. First comma, then from where do I want to extract? From this one, close the bracket. You could see here we have a problem. If our number starts from 152 here, it could not end with 120. It just gives you the position of the first comma. That's why here you should write the start number. What you should write here? 152? Yes, you could write it 153, and it will give you the result. It will just jump you to this, like if the position of your number starts from 152 from here, and I start my count from here, it will just give you this one. It correctly just give you the position. But there is a problem here. It could not be the same for all rows. Why? Because, let's just delete it, because this number could locate anywhere here. It could locate after the second comma or after the third comma here. But the best way of doing it is just to convert it to the automatic format. How? You could just click this one, J plus 1. It will count the comma after this position. Click enter. You could see the result is the same, but it's better to do it like that. You could see the result is the same. We have found the first delimiter, the second delimiter, and all that we need to do right now is finding the number here. Finding the number. How should we find the number here? Equal sign. First, we are using mid function. Text. What do we want to find? We want to find, from where do we want to find? From here. Start number. This is our start number, J57. Number of character. This one minus K57 minus J57. Close the bracket, click enter. Yes, it has extracted the number. If I just drag it down, you could see that it would work for all these rows, not for all these rows. But we have a problem here too. You will see that it's a dash here. If you just type in +1 or 2, you could +2, you could see it works perfectly well. Just drag it. No, +3. It might have 2 spaces here. That could be the problem. Now we should first drag this functionality. This again, type 2. We don't need it right now, and drag these columns again in order to make them work here. Drag these ones down because these functions depended on this one. And here is the result. It works. We have extracted this number for all cells here. Let's hide them. And the third one, the metro station. We are going to find the metro station here. Okay, finding again the first, the second, and just minusing it. You could see here, before finding the metro station or the name of these cities here, before metro stations, we don't want to, you have here Metro Astrakhan, Metro Simferopol, and here we have a metro of Ulan-Ude, but we don't want to M to be included here. What should we do? We will have to, in order to extract this word, what's the best way of doing it? Finding the first delimiter and the second delimiter here. What's our first delimiter here? Find first delimiter, M and dot. And this is the case sensitive, M dot, close the bracket, comma. What's the second one? This is within the text, this one. Do we need the start number? No, because we hardly will have any M1 position here. 265. What's the find is the second delimiter here. We have a bunch of commas here. We will have to write the start number here. First, finding function. Second, what do we want to find? We want to find the comma, close the bracket, then comma, and then within the text, what is our text? This one, comma, start number, this one plus 1, right? We could either write 266, or because we want to be extracted it from here, or just this one, M57 plus 1, close the bracket, 276. Let's drag all of them down. This one, you could see it just counts all these positions for metro stations, starting from that, ending from that. And let's extract it with the help of mid function here. Mid function, type in equal sign, mid function, first text, what's our data here? This one, first start number, this one, and 57, number of characters, this one minus this one, close the bracket, click enter. Yes, it has extracted M Astrakhan. And if I drag it down, you could see that it works well for all metro stations. But why is the problem? The problem is that it has included M for all cells. If I just write +2, it will jump me to 2 characters right, and drag it down for these cells. It will work well for all cities. You could see we have extracted all data for these cells. Let's do one more function here. Let's see that your manager told you to give a condition based on these values here. How to give a condition we already know. Let's use it in practice. If, open the scope, this cell equals like this city name, Astrakhan, close the bracket. If this column contains Astrakhan, we will print, for example, south. Otherwise, we will print, for other cities, we will print west. Close the bracket, close the scope, click enter. Let's drag it down for all rows here, and you can see for all other values it just prints west, and for Astrakhan it printed just south. But here we have blank rows, blank cells here, but we don't want to be appeared this text for blank rows. In order to escape it, we should add one more if condition here. Let's type it in formula bar. If, another if, open the scope, this cell again equals blank, then you will just type in blank. Blank, close the bracket, put in comma, and you should just put the closing scope after this scope, because this if condition is inside of this one. That's why click enter, drag it down again, and you can see it has printed blank value for all these empty cells. Why? Because it just basically copies the functionalities of this column, and this column contains these blank cells, and that's why it just prints blank. What if I want to just give one error here? I will give a type in error here, equal sign, this one divided by this one. We have an error there. You can see that it does not work for an error. How should we do that, or how should we write a condition for an error? We could just write in with the help of if again, but Excel has a default function for it called IFERROR. If error, open the scope, and after that you will put something like blank or error cell like that, and close the scope, click enter. You could see it has just printed error cell for that, but we should just write this condition in this cell, because we will have to apply this for all rows by dragging it down. In that case, we will apply it here in the first row. If error, open the column, open the scope. If error it contains, then we will put a comma, quote, then we will put in blank error, close the scope, put enter, and drag it down. It will work the same way. Okay, one more thing. Let's see that we want to extract these functionalities in other sheet. How should we do that? That's very simple. We should first give a function name. After that, open the scope, go to that sheet, choose your cell, this one for example, and after going back, when you want to go back, pay attention that your sheet name does not change. In this case, right now we have a cell reference like sheet 1 or 57, and it should stay like that. But when you go back, you could see that sometimes it just changes independently, and you should be attentive while you are working with this. If this, pay attention, equals, for example, Astrakhan, then yes, otherwise no. Just an example. In that case, it will work perfectly for us. Yes, for all 57, it prints yes. For other rows, it will print no. That works perfectly fine. That's it for now. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Have a good day to everyone. Bye.